Hey everybody, it's Danny, and we're going to be starting off on our fourth video now for Aframe. And we'll be talking about animations today. So what we're aiming to do is take some of our more static items on the page and animate them in different ways. So I've created this very basic scene. We're keeping our purple sky and our purple floor, and I've put in a few of these spheres. Now I wanted them to be sort of wrapped around in a semicircle, and when I did that, to do this I just cheated a little and went to the scene inspector and moved them around until I found the place where they were going to be. So I moved them around and then pulled those positions, rounded to the nearest whole number, and added them into my Sinatra project as spheres. That's besides the point though. We're actually going to be working on animation. So let's go back to our scene. So we're going to animate each of these. Maybe we'll just start with one and then we'll go from there. But I want to start by animating this red sphere furthest to the left. And what I want to do for this sphere is I want to animate its color. I want it to sort of glow between red and green and go back and forth between red and green. So to do that, let's look at our documentation for animation. Looks like we have our entity, which in this case, that's the entity is a sort of a placeholder for the primitive, or it's a more generic form of writing the primitive, like a box or a sphere. And within that, we have our animation. So within the entity, we have our A-animation. So just to get that piece started, for our red sphere, this sphere, we're actually going to put our animation in between the sphere tags. So let's add the A-animation tag. And let's go back and just check out. Looks like we have a to, so where are we going to? What are we animating to? We have an attribute. What is the thing that we are animating? Duration, how long is it going to take? Are we repeating indefinitely? And the one that I like to also play with is this direction. So does it animate just in one way, or does it go back and forth? Does it alternate? So we're going to alternate. So let's do that for the color. Over here, we're going to apply the attribute will be color. We're actually going to use a to and a from. So we're going to green, from yellow, from red, excuse me. And let's give it a duration of 2 seconds, so 2000 milliseconds. We want it to repeat indefinitely. And what was the last thing we wanted to talk about? Oh, our direction. Our direction will be alternate. Oh, so our direction will be alternate. And notice it's just like we're applying attributes to this tag. Let's save it. See if we got this working. Hey, look at that. So we've now animated our first sphere. Looks pretty cool. So let's try the same thing for this next one, for this blue one. But instead of changing the color, let's try changing something else. Let's try changing, I don't know, let's try changing the size. Let's make it get bigger and smaller. So I'm actually going to just copy this animation. And for our blue sphere, which is this first one, we're going to add that in. And if we want to make this a little easier to read, since we're not space sensitive, we can just have these lined up like this. these attributes. So we are going to change the, let's change the scale, and we're going to change it to, I guess it starts at 1, 1, 1, 1, so we'll change it to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, from 1, 1, 1, so we're changing the, everything's going to grow proportionally. Maybe make this a little bit faster. No, let's make it a little slower actually. And we'll leave the repeat and the direction there. So I'll save this. And let's see what happens here. Hey, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. So now we have two animated things. That's nice. So let's think about other things that we could animate. Well, maybe in this case we've changed the size. In this case we've changed the color. What if we wanted to change the position? So maybe we want one of these to jump way up and down, like as if it was a bouncing ball, this green one. So again, I don't want to reinvent the wheel here, so I'm just going to pull this animation in for this green one, and the attribute that we're going to be changing is the position. Now since we've set the position, we don't need this from, but just to keep things simple, we'll leave it there. And let's say we want it to just go straight up. So the coordinate that we're changing is the y coordinate. So everything else we'll say stays the same. But the y coordinate we want to jump up. Let's say we want it to go way up to like 10 meters from 1 meter. And we want it to take a little longer. We'll make it take 5 seconds. So let's save that and run this. And whoa, it looks like it's going all the way up there like a balloon. And then it comes back down. Now, let's play with a couple more of these attributes. So maybe we just want it to go up once. So let's get rid of this repeat. And let's get rid of this direction. And see what happens now. So we'll refresh. It looks like it goes up and then just stays there. Beautiful. So that's a brief introduction to animation. I'm leaving this yellow one static so that you can play with that on your own. I'm also going to put up the original code on GitHub, which you'll be able to access in the description. Good luck, and if you find out something super interesting, leave a comment. Let me know what you were able to build. All right.